Hello, everybody, and welcome to this online webinar in Flowcase Academy. My name is Nelly, and I am one of the template designers here at Flowcase, and I am happy to present today's webinar, which will focus on the brand new template engine, which we are so excited to release to you guys. This is the first webinar out of two, which will have this focus. The second webinar will be hosted on the 14th of March. Please sign up for that. And even if you realize that you do not, that it doesn't match your schedule, please sign up either way, because that way we can send you a recorded version of what we went through. So this session is going to give you a light introduction to the new template engine. And the next one is going to dive a bit more into detail. I should mention that the template engine that should be released as of now is still in a little bit of a beta phase, and it will gradually be updated as we receive your feedback. So a little bit more specific. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the origins of the template engine and why we have this. I am going to show you some new features which it contains and allows for new CV and reference templates. Then I'm going to give you a little run through of the template engine, followed by a Q&A. So the purpose of the template engine, if we go back to the core of Flowcase, our product is very big on managing your data in the best way possible, but also exporting your data in the best way possible. And we have created this template engine, which is a new system where you, as an admin of Flowcase, can adjust and create your own CV and reference templates without having to learn any advanced code. And the purpose of that is to make your Flowcase experience much smoother and much more user-friendly. And this system has been developed by our lovely developers Arne Christian, Erik, and Helene, who I want to give a very big kudos to. They have been working so hard on this, and it really makes us in the template team, it makes our lives way easier. So me, Karin, and Tolef, who you've probably been in contact with, are very, very satisfied with what they've done for us. You can reach us in the template team at templates@flowcase.com. And that way, if one of us is off, another one can pick up your case. Because even though you will now have the possibility to create your own templates, do not worry, we are still here at your service. But let's say you want a very, very minor adjustment. Many of you probably recognize the process of emailing us, explaining your issues, and sometimes it's not even easy to put into words. And then you have to wait for us to get back to you. Sometimes there's a little bit of a waiting when the adjustment itself is actually super small and could be done in just a few seconds. This is your opportunity to do it yourself. So, looking at the new features that the template engine will allow for your CV and reference templates to have. Here are only a few of them, but the first one is that now we can fill pictures to a frame. Some of you might have experienced when you import CVs and people have different formats of their profile pictures. It becomes a bit of a struggle to have it display the way you want in the document. Now we have fixed this issue or setting, which also allows for us to circle your profile pictures if this is something you like. We also have now got the ability to use a different header on the first page apart from the rest of the pages. We also can now import your specific brand styles if that is something you use at your company. It's up at the top of a Word document where there's like heading 1, heading 2, bullet list. Now these can be tailored to specifically your company. We also have more wrapping possibilities. For instance, for images or tables, we can now wrap them in front of text, behind text, aligned to the top of the document, the bottom of the document. And what all of these settings kind of adds up to is just way more creativity and possibilities within your future template designs. So we are very excited about all of this. And I'm thinking I'll just go right to it and show you how we create a new template. So here we have one of our demo websites. This is the starting page. And if you go to admin, templates for export, CV templates, and then you see here a display of existing templates and where you create a new template. You see here that they look a little bit different. That is because these that only say edit template have been made the old way, whereas this branded UK template has been made in the new system. And I want to say that if you intend on doing any adjustments, you should always press this and create a duplicate before you go in and do your adjustments, because we do not store old versions of the templates. Instead, for every change, we override the previous version. So always create a duplicate to be safe that nothing goes wrong within your templates. But let's create a new one. So I press create template, create new template, Word, new. And let's name this webinar 2025. And boom. This is what the editor looks like. In the middle, we have a little default CV, which always appears when you start a new template, which kind of serves as a bit of information and or inspiration and understanding of what is going on. And in the top, we have the header. This is the layout block where all content, name, position, profile image is.
Just a second. It seems like people are not viewing the Flowcase page. So let's just get confirmed that people that we're watching the same thing, because I see your screen. You're sharing the correct screen, as far as I can see. Is anybody able to see the Flowcase screen? Okay, Celia says yes. Anas can also see it. Okay. So some people are able to see the screen. Could be maybe something with a connection then, because some people. Okay, in the chat it says it's a very small screen. Is it possible to make it any bigger from your side, Nelly, maybe?
I shall see. Now they see you see me, right? Or
yeah, but I think it's the matter of one of the attendees says after reloading goes to the correct screen. It's only small because it was locked to speaker mode. What does that mean?
Did I make any change now? Because now I pressed maximize the stream.
It's better now. Some people are writing yes, it's better now. Okay, yes, that's better.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you for letting us know.
Thank you so much. Where did I lose you guys? Where should I go back to?
Just start out from the start, from looking in here in the template, I think.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So this is the starting block. We have the header. We have the layout block with all of the content in this example CV, which is the first one you see. And here we have the footer. And you see, as I press all of these elements, you notice that the material that is appearing here changes. And that is all the specific little formatting settings, which are also available in your regular Word documents that appears. So here I have selected a paragraph, and here comes a bunch of different paragraph settings. If I press here, we have a bunch of different character settings. So that is in the Edit Items block. Then we have the Template Settings block. And this is basically your document setup. So for instance, you can switch the header and footer here, the height of them, and so on. And then you see to the right, we have this very cool preview window, which I can make bigger. And we have this default fake user that appears. But we can also check out whichever team member available at your company. So let's try Bessie Lawson. And here we have her. And maybe if you're working in a specific proposal where you've tailored people's CVs, you can check out these people as well. And this is really good when building a template because it really makes you understand what makes things work dynamically and where there might be issues. So now we've gone through the skeleton of the document or the editor, and let's get into a bit more details. I will remove all of these fields and we'll go right at the beginning. You see here we have add pre-made sections, which we will look through in just a little bit. And we also have the add new element. So let's start by creating a little table consisting of 2 table cells. And we will press here and we will get a little image and select profile image. Very nice. And then we are going to press here and we are going to press dynamic text. And a dynamic text is anything that will be different for each individual user, such as the name. And I will just tweak the design here, make it look a little bit nicer, maybe make it circular, and let's make this a little bit bigger for us all to see. How about Century Gothic? And let's decide on a new brand color for this brand. Something blue. There we go. And it works for Alexa Evans, and it works for Benito Reyes as well. Okay, let's move on with a static text. A static text is something that will appear the same for everyone. So I am going to write position, and then I am going to, and we see here the other users, it says position for them as well. Let's press this and just add a little bit of spacing above. There we go, looks nice. And here I can press the plus, and I'm going to go with dynamic text and hit position. So this one is the same, and this one is different for each individual. But when we look at Benito, he does not have a position. And that is where conditionals work very well. So what we're going to do now is I've pressed this paragraph and I'm making it conditional towards positions, meaning that it shall not appear if a person does not have a position. So when we look at Benito's CV, nothing appears here. But when we look at Annie's, it says position systems engineer. And let's say that this CV, specifically, we want to display work experiences. So I am going to write here, work experiences, pressing this here and picking our color, which we've already used, which is saved here. And let's do it 16th century Gothic in bold. And maybe add a little bit of spacing above here too. Also, this one we want to make conditional towards work experiences. And then we go back to add new elements. And you see we have a lot of these fields here. I'm going to go through a few of them today, and I hope to go through the rest of them on our next webinar. But for now, let's stick to repeatable CV block. And here we have all of these things that can be that can repeat in when you go into my CV, and a person can have 1 work experience or 10 work experiences. It's all of these fields that are the repeatable CV blocks. So inside this repetition, I'll press the plus again, and I'll go dynamic text. I will press employer, for example. See how that looks. Maybe add some spacing. And then I want position to appear as well. And I want it to be separated by a comma. So let's see here. It looks nice. And let's see how it looks for Alexa. So Alexa does not have a position, and still the comma appears. And of course, we do not want this. So instead of selecting the full paragraph and making it conditional, such as in these cases, we select the very minor little comma. And we go to conditional settings, and we pick both employer and position. And there we go. So that is a little brief introduction to how CVs work if you're starting out from scratch. But I am going to delete all of these now. And we are going to look at the pre-made sections. These are super convenient if you are without a design, without a vision of what you want, and maybe you don't have time to hire a designer to look into this. You just need to create something fast, and it needs to be now. So you can open it up, and you see that the developers have created all these pre-made fields. I think this one looks nice, so I'm going to press that. And boom, we get a bunch of stuff. And maybe this CV, so it has education certifications and key points. Maybe all I want for this CV is to also include project experiences. I check there, and I see all these different pre-made sections. Let's go with this one. Now I have a pretty decent CV going on here, and I can use this as a basis for my CV. So I don't really need to think about the layout myself. I have this already figured out. Now I can go into more nitty-gritty details, like which font I want to use and which colors. So I'm holding down Shift now. I'm pressing all of these. I click Edit Inner Text Elements, and I go with my color and font of choice. And we have it different. If you in your company want to use a specific font other than the ones here, fonts that you've previously used in CV Partner will be, or in Flowcase, will be available here. But if you want to try out a new font, you still need to contact us, and we will install it into your template editor. And I think that for you guys, until the next session, exploring these pre-made sections and seeing how stuff are built is a very good way of getting to know the template editor. I am myself a big fan of learning by doing, and I think you will maybe stumble upon some errors or things you don't understand. And that is why it's so good that we're having another webinar where these questions can be asked, because the opportunities here are very much endless. You can see here, for instance, in this language field, they have used a table within. You could also open it up and use a bullet list. If you want, you could have like an image repeat for every language of, I don't know, a puppy or something. And also here, it is a lot of different things going on and possibilities, um, which, yeah, I think you should dive into. We also have a way of displaying when we go into the regular repeatable CV blocks. The contents will go from top to bottom. We can also create repeatable tables where we go from left to right. So here I create key qualifications in the bottom and I press key points. I'll do some spacing above so it's easier for you to see this. Now, instead of coming from top to bottom, it goes from left to right. Okay, it seems like these users do not have that many key points, but you understand the brief concept of it. The same goes for reference projects too. I can give you a little short view of what that looks like. It's the same. You go in template for export, you go into reference templates, create new templates, word new. I'll name it webinar 2025. And this one also has a little default project. It consists of all the contents in which a reference project will have. And it also has this way of displaying the, what's it called? The reference projects. So I don't want to make your minds get too heavy of information. Therefore, I am going to say thank you for this time and what I have presented. And let's go into some questions. You can also, if you come with questions along the way, you are very welcome to send them to either contact@flowcase.com, support@flowcase.com, or preferably templates@flowcase.com.
Doesn't look like we have. Maybe Celia is coming with a question.
It's available
Maybe.
already. Yes, this is actually being released in about like 5 minutes or something. There is going to be a bit more official newsletter, I suppose. But yes, it is up and running. And yeah, I really look forward to you guys looking into it. And we can, I guess that next session, there will be a lot more questions on things that work or feedback or other stuff. And if there aren't any more questions today, then I'm so glad that so many people attended this webinar. We will save it so it can be looked at again. If you have other questions, don't forget to sign up to the next webinar on the 14th of March. And I will see you then. And have a good weekend, you guys. Okay, I am logging off now. Bye.